Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Thursday, August the 1st. We've made it to month number 8. And it's starting off with a bang. It's supposed to be the mid-90s today. I think we were mid-80s yesterday, and I kind of felt warm. Kind of getting used to it not being so hot. Well, she's going to roll back. So I was saying the other day, don't get used to it because August hadn't made it here yet. Well, here she is. And on her first day, she's going to be a cooker. So, anyway, welcome to Thursday. And hope you have a great day, and hope we do too. We're heading off to work. 76 degrees already. We drove most of the way here with the air conditioner on.
Yeah.
Kelly's like, it's hot in here. I said, yeah, I know. I turned the old AC on. Let her do her thing. Thank goodness it works good. It'll run you right out of this thing.
Yeah, well, that's why this is handy. I need to put it back on.
Yeah, feels nice. Anyway, Mama,
Yes,
it's Thursday.
It is. 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Not too busy. The heat will probably slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you as the day goes on.
All right.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So you remember the little G310R that I was messing with before I went on the trip? We determined, because of multiple new ones up top, several that's come in for services, that when you start them, the first few revolutions, you hear the clackety, clackety, clackety. You hear the decompression release clicking on it. This one does not do that. So we ordered a new cam. Of course, the thing was back ordered and it finally showed up. But this is a decompression release. And how that works is the 2 exhaust valves. Well, one of them gets kicked open. You can see that little amount that it kicks up. And that's just enough to leave an air gap to greatly lower the compression. And as it gets going, centrifugal force pulls that weight over, and the whole time it's running, anything over like 700 RPMs, that thing is locked open. So the slider, I think it's got a sub rocker in it, just misses that because it's out of the way. And when it's cold, it bumps and holds that valve open every time it comes around. But this thing is so sensitive. Now watch this, just under its own weight. Turning it down, you can see it's starting to walk away from the valve. So it's really sensitive, and it's meant to turn off as soon as it reaches RPM. Like I say, just under its own weight, I can make the thing start to open. But it needs to be there initially to get the engine up to speed without the compression fighting it. That's one expensive little cam, though. Holy moly. $321. It's from BMW. The word expensive is written in the name somewhere. But you pay a premium price for premium stuff. But anyway, that's my next agenda, is to do that. So even though, I checked that cam again, and they had me do it once before, and I still don't see anything wrong with it. But something's definitely wrong. So there's the new cam sitting in, and there's your timing mark. I don't know if I can make the camera show that or not. Yeah, probably not. You can see the exhaust line there and the intake line right there. The tensioner's over here, so you can double verify by sticking something there and pushing the tensioner back. But the tensioner's on this side, so you pull the chain tight towards the rear. This is intake, this is exhaust. The engine is sitting in there backwards. I got my hands all oily. Wipe out my camera. There's the tensioner, the cap, all the stuff associated with taking all those parts off that I did. And here's a little better view from the other side. And I verified that, you know, the little kicker on there is definitely, on the old cam and this cam, is definitely making contact with that, I guess it'd be the right hand exhaust valve. That's the one that gets triggered, that releases the compression. But you can, on, I don't want to say it's like 4 of them now that we've, you know, we're just like obsessed. Every time one came in, we're listening to it, you know. And you can hear the decompression release hitting the valve here, the clackety clackety clack, just for, you know, like real quick, it's clackety clack, boom, and it starts. This one has no sound whatsoever. It sounds like the decompression is not functioning on it. But like I say, I mean, it works the same, but there's something different. Don't know what. I looked at the height, you know, how far it's you know, pushing the valve. If I hold it this way, I can spin it. You can see it just folds out of the way once it gets going. But that's the height that it's that's lifting that rocker open. Whatever. We're gonna put a new one in there and fire off and see what she does. I mean, when you see one bike that's having a problem starting and the rest of them don't, and that's what it feels like, is either, you know, a weak battery, or, you know, we've even put a new battery in because the health was a little low on the original battery that was in it, so they had to do that. And we remember we even messed around, even swapped from a brand new one, swapped the starter relay. Made no difference. The only difference it made is while the battery was peaked, you know, right off the charger, it boom, it'd light right off. Or if you have the BMW charger on there, because it's supplying a steady 13.5 volts all the time, it just start right up. That's why we're thinking, you know, well, we did with the battery. But even with the new battery, it sits here for a couple of days, and you can go, and it takes like 2 or 3 times to get it to start. And finally, you just get one. What it does, it times out too. It's like most modern bikes. You know, you try to start it, and it senses that it can't, so it just lets go. And you cycle the key and try again. Nice thing. I love it when bikes have these. It has a crank lock, so you get the timing, you know, TDC on compression, and this pin, I can slide it because it's just sitting there, but that pin goes in there and it's locking that so that thing locks it, so no matter what, you don't have to worry about, you know, you got to keep looking at the timing. But the worst thing about this, the crank lock tool, checking the cam timing, well, you turn it from the other side. That's always a funky thing to do, because you can't like lean over and look at that. So the nice thing, you get it close, you know where it needs to be, and then you set that crank lock tool in there, and you lean over, you know, with your, always use a cheater bar, always, because the ratchet, if it goes too far, it goes, always have a cheater bar, because the thing will move on you. You know, it'll get to a certain point and go. The crank spins without your control. Well, with a cheater bar, you have control over it. You can move it back and forth. But anyway, get it close, set your tool in there, just hold your finger on the tool, get your hand on the other side, hold your wrench and turn it, and it goes funk, and it drops in. It drops in, nothing's gonna move. So you know your timing's correct. Oh, 310s. Do you guys know these things are built in India? Isn't that cool? And it's one thing that's weird about these Indian-built BMWs. What is it, TSV or something like that? I don't remember what the company was that builds it under strict overlook of BMW. But everything is Allen. Everything. I don't think there's a torque screw on the whole thing. Oh, yeah, there is. Nope, not even use it there. I was going to say on the turn signals. This thing's a training bike, and the turn signals always broke off. Yeah, I thought those were T30s like the regular BMWs. But yeah, there's no torques. BMW loves their torques. But everything is 5 and and 6mm and larger for different things. But as far as this cam, all the thing holding the cams down, cam tower and all that stuff, it's all 6mm. And then that cam chain tensioner, it says, you know, remove the cam chain tensioner, and you look in there and you go, what on earth? That looks like something off of an old 57 iron head or something, doesn't it? It's 30mm or 32. So I gotta rig something up to torque that thing back, because obviously I can't. I just grabbed this thing because it was handy. It was 30, wasn't it? Pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, 30mm. Yes, you don't want to tighten it with a great big cheater bar. And it wasn't that tight because it broke free pretty easy. It's got a little side trick here too. The chain guide actually has a side bolt in there, and that thing was way over torqued. I didn't pull the cams out last time because you can roll this thing over, and you have a hole in there that I can activate whatever the decompression release. They do their training sometimes here, the in-class stuff. Even my younger brother was in here doing the class. You gonna knock me over with a feather. Kelly goes, your brother's in there, he's looking at helmets, they're on break. He's in there, he's doing a motorcycle course. Oh, that's cool. That boy's been riding, since the mid-'80s maybe? All this time he's never had a motorcycle endorsement. I said, well, you must be a very careful and legal driver to never get pulled over. Nope, never been pulled over for anything. And he goes, you know, I figured I might as well get legal beagle here. Crazy sucker. He's always gotta be a wild one in the family, you know. But anyway, let me get this thing, get the cam cap on and torque everything down and make a motorcycle out of this thing. So even though I don't see anything different between those cams, I never charged the battery. This thing's been sitting here. I mean, the cam was back ordered for like a month and a half or whatever it's been. Didn't charge the battery. Put everything together so I can run it, and none of the body works on it. Boom, lights right off. Purrs like a kitten. In fact, I shut it off and restarted it multiple times trying to, you know, sack a little bit out of the battery. It's a little tiny battery in these things. Try to sack the battery out and make it do what it was doing before. Doesn't miss a beat. But I didn't get a micrometer out and start measuring stuff. But I can't see any difference between the cam I took out and the new one. Put that tool back. Don't know. So, you know, the chirping clutch. So I was able to simulate it. There is a term, the white balance is way off. I'm sorry about that, all the weird colors. But there's a term when you get a bike, car, whatever, it's fully hot. You come to a stop and let it sit for a little bit, like a short bit. The cooling system is no longer functioning. So that motor's just sitting there building heat like crazy. Pistons swell up like a punctured puppy. There's all kinds of nasty things going on. And they're designed because they know people are going to do that. You might stop and grab a 6-pack of beer on the way home in your little, you know, Geo Metro with its little 3-cylinder motor in there. And that thing's swelling up while you're in there waiting in line to pay for your beer. And you come out, she may run a little funky until the cooling system starts reacting and doing its thing and cooling everything back off again. So it's only just right off, like vroom, vroom, vroom. Here's a. I've heard this before on Spyders. This is not an unusual sound, and I just wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. That's when you like stopped it, you finished it, you come in, you check the oil. The thing hasn't had a chance to cool down. You just went for a good test ride. You know, I do the preliminary check, let the fan run, which can take up to 40 minutes on one of these, by the way, if it's cool in here. But anyway, I take a ride. Come in and do some preliminary stuff, and then, you know, I drive it up front for the customer, and you will hear that chirping sound. I don't know if I can call it a chirp. It kind of has that chirping sound, But if you just vroom, vroom, you just vroom, vroom, vroom on the throttle, you just hear it vroom, vroom, makes that sound. It's absolutely not a fault. It's just every water-cooled engine does this. Absolutely every one of them does that. Doesn't matter who it's from, whether it's a car, truck, motorcycle, or Can-Am Spyder. So I must have messed up on my filing the case thing on this thing because I can't do the transmission flush with the because it says the park brake's not on, and I have nothing. I must have did something wrong, so I'll resend it. I've done that before. I must be doing something wrong somewhere. I don't know how it's even possible. If you see how you fill out the form, it's like you write an email and you hit send, you know. But anyway, so I just finally, going exactly by what she said when it does it, was able to do it. And as soon as I hear it, I go, I know what that is. That's not necessarily a fault, but I'll throw it at BRP. There's a term for that. We even talked about that in school, like in Spyder school and stuff, about, you know, weird things that happen if you just shut the bike off, cooling system stops working, and then you jump back on and take off again. Well, everything's like swole up. And anyway, it's time to go. BMW works great. I gotta lock things up down here. I'm the only one here today, but that's fixed. Just gotta put the bodywork back on, and I'll see what BRP has to say about that. Maybe they can remind me what that term is, or one of you guys can. It's something when the heat just builds. It's just stagnating there. No cooling system's working, and everything's just swelling up. It's just getting hot to a point, and then it starts cooling down again. You know, of course, you know, you bring it home, put it in your driveway, your garage, or whatever, and by the next morning, it's nice and cool. Everything's all back to normal again. But it's if you interrupt that while it's still swelling up, you know, at its max or whatever, before it starts rolling the other way and cooling off, your motor can make weird noises and even run a little weird. So there's some food for thought. But that's what I should have when she described what it's doing. But I wanted to hear that sound, and I've definitely heard it on 1330s before. You know, doing just what I said. You know, doing that short stop, engine not running. You know, you can't tell people, you know, you stop for that 6-pack of beer, leave the car running, so the cooling system. Well, you come back out in your car, motorcycle, whatever, it's gone. So it's not practical to do something like that. But anyway, it's time to roll. Well, hello there, YouTube. Nobody, it was a warm one today.
Yes, it was.
And it's going to continue through the weekend. It's going to be hot. Yeah. That fair is starting tomorrow. Kelly was reading the thing from Cowlitz News or whatever, saying if you're going to the Clark County Fair, expect an hour and a half delay in the morning. We were talking about it this morning, going, I wonder if the early people leaving to go to the fair is going to cause a traffic jam for that bridge. They're saying, yep. Tonight we're coming home. It's just nuts. It's all the way from that bridge all the way to Klamath every single night we go home.
Yeah.
And people are saying it's an easy 2 hours to get through that.
That's messed up.
That's just way messed up. So we'll have to keep an eye on it tomorrow. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, on that, it was a fun day at work. Lots of BMW and a little bit of Spyder stuff today. That keeps you entertained.
Very cute.
Keeps me entertained talking to you. But I think on that, we're going to roll.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and you guys have a wonderful Friday or Saturday.
All right, we'll see you then.
See you in the morning.
Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.